Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, I'm really excited today, well it's actually in the evening, to be showing you a new product that I've recently purchased. And it's actually very new to the market. It was released back in June or July, we're now in middle of October, well coming towards the end of October, but it was released back in the summer, but they had issues, the manufacturer had issues with software, compatibility issues and all sorts. So they withdraw the release, but they've done it now and it's great. And what it is we're looking at is the Atomos AtomX CAST. Now it came in this rather nifty box, quite a nice box, nothing exciting about boxes is there? I mean, we're not really bothered about boxes, but it came in this, not that you can see it that clearly, but it came in that box. And it's basically a 4-channel Hdmi switcher stroke webcaster and web streaming device. So you basically plug your 4 cameras in, or 4 sources, HDMI sources, in the back of the unit. In the back here you can see there's the 4 inputs. In the back here there's various other HDMI connections, that's for outputs. Plugs into the back. You connect your Atomos Ninja V or Ninja 5 to it, and then that acts as the recorder stroke monitor. So, you know, a great device. It is actually, I think, competing very much with, because it's a very similar price point to the A10 Mini Pro, the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro, and that's what we have over in my other part of the studio over there, is the A10 Mini Pro. And I've been really enjoying using that. That's helped me a lot with producing the videos for my YouTube channel. And I'm going to explain why I've got the Atomos AtomX CAST. Well, I wanted to set up 2 separate areas within the studio. So I didn't want to keep unplugging cameras, unplugging kit, cables and all the rest of it. I wanted to be able to do, you know, quick videos. And this is what I'm doing this evening. It's only arrived today. I've had hardly any chance to play with it. But this video is an introduction video to not what I think about it really, but what it can do for my, you know, what it can do for me and for my studio. And also what I think about it in the very short time that I've had it. I've not done any streaming with it, I've not done anything with it. This is pretty much the first video that I've done. I say pretty much because I did do a test video earlier this evening and it came out fine, apart from the fact I've forgotten to shave, so I'm doing it again. But I did learn a few things from that video that is an issue with the Blackmagic. It doesn't appear to be an issue with this particular device. And what it is with the audio. Now this device, you can take audio in via the 3.5mm jack on the Atomos Ninja V, or the audio can come in via the HDMI, via one of the cameras. So what I've got is my Rode Wireless Go 2 going into my Panasonic S5, then that's feeding the audio out down the HDMI cable into the AtomX CAST, and that's where the audio is coming from. Now you can configure the audio in several different ways. Now I've got the audio fixed to channel 1, the HDMI input of channel 1. Now you can have it to audio follows video. So as you switch channels, the audio, for example, from that camera, which is the ZV one, would be coming from that. And likewise channel 3, which happens to be my GH5 Mark II, is over there. So if it's audio follows video, then the audio would come from that. And then I've got channel 4, which is no audio coming in from my computer. So you can see there, and that's great as well. But I've got it fixed to coming through on the HDMI feed. Now I haven't been able to get it to work with the audio going directly into the Ninja 5. I've got to look at that as to why that isn't working. But with the A10 Mini Pro, it's 4 frames delay. So I've had to, luckily you can go into the software and adjust the delay. You can do that on the Atomos Ninja 5 as well. But when I looked at this video I've just done, the audio was in sync, and that would be great for me because it's just going to be a lot easier if it is in sync. So effectively, I've got 4 inputs going in, as I said. So I've got me Panasonic S5 going into input 1. I've got me little Sony ZV-1 getting the close-up shots of the product going into channel 2. I've got going into channel 3 my GH5 Mark II just over my shoulder here, and then channel 4 is my computer, so I can do demonstrations, which I do a lot. So whether it be using photo editing software such as Capture One, or using Lightroom, or using video editing software, whatever it might be, I can actually do that. What I had to do in the old days was do a screen capture recording on the computer. It was just more work involved in creating a separate file for that, putting that on the timeline. There's none of that now. And that's what I had to do with everything. You think about it, if I'm running 3 or 4 cameras, I had to take the SD cards out of the cameras, feed them into the computer, create proxy files because everything was shot in 4K. Then I had to get the computer file from the screen capture, any audio that was needed. It was all a lot of work, very time consuming, and it hogged a massive amount of hard drive space. Now, with using the A10 Mini Pro and the Atomos AtomX CAST, I don't have that issue whatsoever. It's brilliant because it's all on one file. Apart from, I do film, I don't know if this camera can pick it up, over here I've got a ZV-E10, which is not connected into this system. That's recording separately, so when I come to edit, I can drop that shot in at any time I like, over the timeline. I'll quickly show you what I mean. So, for example, this is a video that I recently done on the another Atomos product, actually, the Atomos Shinobi. So, if we look at angles, view angles, you can see here that I've got a shot of from the ZV-E10. It's a separate shot, so I can cut between the master track, which is the one at the top, and then I can drop in a wider shot of coming from the ZV-E10. It's a safe shot, basically. I can use that as a safe shot, and that is brilliant because when you're doing it this way, there will be times I make a mistake, and it's handy to be able to have a safe shot. But it still only means I might be running 4, maybe 5 items, but I'm only putting 2 on the computer, and one of those is HD, which is coming from either it's coming from the Atomos AtomX CAST, or if I'm using the A10 Mini Pro, it's coming from the A10 Mini Pro. So it's taking up far less space, and it's easy, it's just faster to edit with. And because I upload to YouTube in HD, it's neither here nor there. I'm a bit restricted as far as cropping and all that sort of stuff, but as long as I get it pretty much right as I shoot it, and these cameras are going to be pretty much static, I should get it pretty much right all the time. I might have to make a few slight adjustments, but overall it's going to be pretty much right. So absolutely fabulous. Also on the ZV-E10, if we look at that again, I'm running my Sony ECM B1M, I think that's what it's called, microphone. So I'm doing backup audio recording on the ZV-E10, as well as using my Rode Wireless Go 2 going into me S5, which I'm hoping will be the master audio track. Shouldn't be any issues with it, but if there is an issue, I've got a backup on my ZV-E10. Now, this switcher is great because it's got the switcher itself, as using the Ninja 5, has got a built-in monitor, and I'm using that monitor for the master program output, so I can clearly see, on a big 5-inch screen, the master output. And there's a red frame around the screen. You can see that that's showing that it is actually recording, so that is super duper. That's very similar to me Panasonic S5. That's got a red frame, hasn't now, as I'm not recording on it, but if I recorded on it, you've got a red frame around the screen, so you can see that it is recording. Same on the ZV-E10, that's got a tally light, but it's also got a red frame around the screen, so you can clearly see that's recording. It really is good. It's a great system, so you know that it is recording. You're not going to come away thinking, has it recorded, hasn't it? But I can clearly see my Ninja 5 is recording because it's got a red frame around it. Now, I did come across a little issue setting this up. It took me 5 minutes or so to fathom it out. I couldn't get it to go into the record mode. And it's quite clever, really. I can see why they've done it now. It might make sense. It didn't make sense at the time, but it does now. But if it's not receiving a signal from a HDMI input, i.e. one of the cameras, then the record light won't come on. You won't be able to record. that saves making errors. So it's actually a safeguard as opposed to a fault with the actual unit. Because I had the camera turned off to save battery power, but that actually is really good. The other thing that I really like about the XCast is that it's got a headphone jack, as well obviously a mic input coming into the XCast, but it's got a headphone jack. The A10 Mini Pro over there has got no headphone jack. You're reliant on the headphone jack on your monitor that you're using. And the monitor I use over there is actually, it's a nice monitor, but the audio is crap. So I'm reliant on the audio levels that I can see. At the moment, I'm not able to see my audio levels on this screen here on the Ninja 5. You can see there is no audio levels. I'm not quite sure where they are. I don't really want to play with the screen to find them because, you know, I might stop it from recording, and that's the last thing that I want to do. But the bottom here, it's got your 4 buttons here. Now they're multi-purpose buttons. I'm using it for straightforward cutting, straight switching. So if we go to camera 1, I've pushed button 1, that's taken me to camera 1. Push button 2, that takes me to camera 2, which happens to be the view of the ZV-1. Push button 3, that'll take me to that one, and then button 4 will take me to that one. Now these can be configured in different ways, so I'm not going to go through what the configurations are because I've got to learn all that and learn what these function buttons do and what they, because there's actually 4 of them. You see, if I lift it up, you can see there's another 2 hidden just behind this. You can't see that when that's flat down. And also, because the Ninja 5 is touchscreen, I can actually, and I have played with this, I can do this without it stopping recording. Now that's now gone to preview mode. So, not preview mode, multi-view mode. So I can actually switch between cameras just by tapping the camera, apparently, the screen. Yeah, so I'm tapping between the screens, and what's happening is, that's a bit fiddly, oh yeah, what's happening is now I can see the buttons on the bottom are changing light as well. So you either use the screen on the Ninja 5 for changing your inputs, or you use the physical buttons. I actually like the physical buttons. Let me put that back to program output. I love the physical buttons for 2 reasons. Firstly, for me, it's just easier to use the buttons and then use the Ninja 5 as a master viewing screen. And also, secondly, I've got used to using buttons because on the A10 Mini Pro, it is pretty much the same size buttons, 4 physical buttons for changing between the inputs. I was going to say between the cameras, but I've actually got a computer going in on one of the inputs between the cameras. So, you know, fantastic from that point of view. Now, there is one thing I also noticed when I unboxed it. It doesn't come with a mains power supply. Now, that was fine with me because I haven't lost the power supply to my Ninja 5. But if you've had a Ninja 5 for quite some time, you may not have the mains adapter. Well, if you haven't, then you're going to find that you'll unbox it and you won't be able to use it because there's no power supply with it. They're saving costs on not providing us power supply, and also the power for the Ninja 5 comes from the dock anyway, the XCast anyway. So I can see their point of view. You know, there's no point in doubling up on something if you've already got it, but it's a bit of a problem if you haven't got a power supply. You do need to make sure you've got a you know, a power supply. And that's about it really. It's got USB-C out to your computer for your webcasting and web streaming. Now I haven't played with that yet because I've literally only had it a few hours. So that will be another video. I will be doing that. I'm going to be trying it with FaceTime, with Skype and what have you, just to see you know, how well that works. Apparently the computer's meant to recognize it as a webcam, so it should just work. You should just get awesome picture quality going through as a webcam. We don't know yet because I haven't played with that, but for me, for my purpose, I won't be using that anyway, or I may well do, but I'm using it primarily as a switcher for switching between cameras. It's just going to save me, as I said earlier, a massive amount of hard drive space and a massive amount of time, because I can get the video filmed edited and up online so much quicker than I could the previous way. Doing it the previous way was loading SD cards onto the computer, creating proxy files, waiting for all of that to happen, then a multicam edit. I still do multicam editing, as you see here, everything will still be multicam, but I'll only have the 2 feeds. So I'll have the master feed, which if you look here, the master feed has got the different angles anyway, because that's the master drive coming off the Ninja 5. And I'll have my ZV-E10 feed, or whatever camera I happen to be using at the time for me, you know, generic wide shot. It'll almost certainly always be the ZV-E10. I love the camera. Its autofocus is great, and I've got fitted to it the Sony 10-18 lens. So a great lens for this sort of purpose, because I can adjust the distance as I need, you know. So it's a great camera. And also with the microphone on top, it's all in one. It's a very lightweight camera, because I've got it on a small, a very sort of flimsy little stand. You wouldn't want to put a big heavy camera on that flimsy little stand, just bolted to the, well, not really bolted, but connected to the table. So, you know, works out really well. So I've got me A10 Mini Pro over there, in that part of the studio for when I'm filming that way, and obviously connected to my iMac, 27-inch iMac over there. And then over here, I will have me A10 Mini Pro, sorry, me XCast over here, connected to me Mac. This will be connected to this Mac, which is me Mac Mini, M1 Mac Mini, which is what I'd use for all my editing. It's a great computer, you know, it's a great computer, so love that. It's really nice actually having this bigger monitor, so I can see, you can see that from actually this angle, you can see that better from that angle. It's really nice having this bigger monitor, so I can actually clearly see, you know, the four cameras, and that's great, and I really like that. With me A10 Mini Pro, it's a smaller monitor, so you can't see them quite so clearly. I guess I could plug a bigger monitor in, but everything about this is working great. Now, on the back of the unit, it's got a HDMI output, and also a HDMI out coming from the Atomos Ninja 5. I'm taking it from the Ninja 5 because that gives me this multi-view output. I found when I took it from the back of the XCast, that only gave me a program output. I'm sure I can adjust that in the settings, but you know, that is by the by, and that's what you know, that's what that did. But you can see how great it is for switching between the different cameras. But I still need a wide a generic shot that isn't connected to the A10, because it means I can drop that in. So if there is a mistake made, like I've got here, if there's a mistake made and I decided I wanted to cut to that because of a mistake, I can cut straight to that, which will cover up any, you know, any errors. So great from that point of view, and a very good setup. And as I say, with the audio, it's great that you can set the audio to either follow the video going in via the Ninja 5, which I've not been able to get to work yet, or you can set it to set to channel 1 or channel 2. I've got it set, as I said, for channel 1, so the audio is literally just channel 1. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyway. I'm pretty sure that's what I have got it set up for, but I'm not terribly concerned if I've got that wrong. I will put in the description of the video where the audio is coming from, just so that you know whether I've decided to use the audio coming off my ECM B1M, or whether it is a constant audio signal coming from me Rode Wireless Go 2. Also, there will be a link in the descriptions to where you can get this kit from. I will put it in. I actually bought this from Wex Photographic. They're a great dealer. I do buy a lot of stuff from Wex Photographic. They're not sponsoring this video. I've paid for all this kit. They're not sponsored it. I just think they're a great company. But I also use Amazon a lot. So I'll put those two links in the description of this video so you can decide what you want to do. If you use the Amazon link, that would really help me as well, because it's an Amazon affiliate link. I do earn a few pennies, but you don't pay any more. Also, Amazon have got a fantastic returns policy. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. So there we go. That's an introduction to the Atomos Ninja 5 with the XCast, and I'm loving it. It's so compact. Look how compact, we can't really tell, but that isn't taken up, if you look at the amount of space on this desk, that isn't taken up hardly any space at all on this desk, and it's nice and tidy. HDMI leads just go straight out the back, and I've got me really big monitor, and I feel really comfortable with how that's working and how that's going down. So I think long term this is going to work out really, really, really well. And I've just noticed actually my light on the back there, I'm running off 2 new batteries, and it hasn't lasted long. The light's gone out, so luckily that's the only one that's running off battery. My 2 main lights are running off electricity, plugged into the wall socket. So the other cameras are running off battery. My ZVE10 isn't. It's running off a power block, a USB power block. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found that useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you do like the content of my videos and you like this particular video, and leave any comments in the comment section below. That's really helpful as well. I will reply to as many as I can, but I'm not the best at doing that. There's a lot of things going on at the moment, so I don't really have a lot of time to reply to everyone, so apologies for that. But please subscribe, hit the like button, and stay tuned for more videos relating to video and photography, and there'll be more videos to do with the Atomos XCast. I'll be doing some comparisons between the XCast and the where are we? The XCast and the A10 Mini Pro over there. So look out for that. That'd be really good. So thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for now. Bye.